Okay guys, so welcome to the class test, which was a delivery systems question. I'm going to show you how to do this question. I'm going to show you the workings for the question and the final answer, and then the two theory questions which followed. This should help you in your study of this topic. Okay, the first thing that we should note is that Happy Valleys Ltd is the company. They are a box supplier and they work 300 days a year and supply the following information. The distance travelled each day is 640 kilometres. Diesel can do 40 kilometres to the litre, and the cost of the litre is 110. That information will make up the cost of the fuel. Now, next, we are told that Martin, the driver, is paid €600 for a 5-day week and pays PRSI at 12.5%. That is going to make up the cost of wages. We also know the annual, and another word for annual is yearly. So for full year, the motor tax is 1,200, the annual motor insurance is 900, and the annual repairs are €600. Now, annual, as I said, is yearly, and remember, in the question, they tell us that they work 300 days, as you see there, in the year. Therefore, because we want 1 day, we know we're going to divide each of those numbers by, I'll put it in red, 300. And that will give us 1 day. And finally, our toll charges for 1 day are €30. Okay, so on to our first working. For fuel, the distance travelled each day is 640 kilometres. So that means in 1 day, the van travels 640 kilometres. Now for the cost of petrol, it can do 40 kilometres for each litre. That means for every 40 kilometre they drive, it is a litre of petrol or diesel used. And in this instance, it's diesel. And then the cost of the litre is 110 per litre. So what you do is, and I'll change colour to blue for this, you would go 640 divided by 40, so it's 640 kilometres divided by the 40 kilometres per litre, so big kilometres divided by the smaller kilometres, multiplied by €1.10. And that equals 640 divided by 40 is 16, multiplied by 110, and that equals €17.60. So now we know our first cost. The cost of our fuel is €17.60. Now, let's have a look at our wages. Martin, the driver, is paid €600 for a 5-day week, and he also pays PRSI at 12.5%. Now, we know that firstly, PRSI stands for Pay-Related Social Insurance, and the rate in this question is 12.5%. Now, on a wage slip, you would deduct the PRSI from your wages. However, remember, the employer is the person who pays it. So, in this instance, you get Martin's wage for 1 day, and then add the PRSI onto it. So how do we do that? Well, it will be, because we know 5 days, and we only want to know 1, I'll use green for this, 600 divided by 5, and that equals 120. So he gets €120 per day. Okay? Now, PRSI on that €120 is 12.5%. So 120 multiplied by 12.5%, and that equals €15. So it'll be, back to blue again, 120 plus 15, and that gives 135. So we now know the wages as €135. As I said up here, Motor tax is 1,200 for the full year. The annual is yearly. The insurance is 990. That again is yearly. And the repairs is 600. That again is yearly. They only work 300 days of the year, not the 365. So for their year, it's 300 days. Therefore, you divide each of these numbers by 300. So, I'll use a lighter blue this time. So, tax is 1,200 divided by 300 equals 4. Repairs 600 divided by 300 is 2. And sorry, I skipped one. Insurance is 990 divided by 300, and that equals 330. Also, don't forget your toll charge. So, you have to add $1,760 plus 135 plus 4 plus 2 plus 330 plus your €30 toll fee, and that will give you the final answer. When you add all those figures together for one day, the cost of transport is €191.90. So just again, you add the cost of the fuel, which is this one here. You add the wages, which is this one here. You add the tax, which is this one here. The insurance, which is this one here. The repairs, and up here, don't forget our toll charges. All those figures together will give you the total cost of transport of €191.90. And remember guys, that logic will never change. Okay, the next thing asks you about 2 benefits of using your own delivery van for a business. So, the things you need to think about would be, firstly, advertising. Remember, it's your van, so you can put your logo on it. That's invaluable for a business. Driving around the whole country with your logo means you can advertise 24 hours a day, 365 days a week, regardless of where your operations is. It can attract new customers in this way. Second one, choose your timetable. You can operate at 2 o'clock in the morning, you can operate at 6 o'clock in the morning. If it's really important, you can decide to change your timetable. You can put people on double shifts because you own it. Therefore, you can decide because it's your timetable. You're not relying on another business. The next thing, it helps you monitor spending. What this means is you can see how much exactly you are spending on delivery costs. You own the van, it's your cost. If a business decides to increase its own costs and you don't own it, you're kind of susceptible to that business. It's not your good, it's theirs. Therefore, it's harder to monitor spending because they might fluctuate their charges. And lastly, by no means least, it increases your fixed assets. Remember, a fixed asset is something that you own, that you could sell on, that has long-term value. So if your business was ever in trouble, you could sell your delivery vans that would bring some money into the business. So the benefits that we've talked about are advertising, Choosing your own timetable and your own working hours. Monitor your spending. It helps you see how much you're using. And finally, increases your fixed assets. And these are things you can sell on in a later date if your business is struggling. And finally, explain 2 factors that would influence the choice of a business in choosing a method of transport. These are the lists that we looked at in class. Be cost, reliability, convenience, destination, speed, and type of good. All these factors will influence your decision of what type of transport you will use. Will it be a boat? Will it be a car? Will it be an airplane? The cost, the reliability, the convenience, destination, the speed, and the type of good. Okay guys, that is the test. Please read over and revise very, very carefully. Thank you.